Hey, thanks for coming to 1500 ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore. I'm going to share with you my 5 thoughts from Wednesday's Twins-Royals game. A wacky game, but the game really couldn't compare to the sideshow at the end, near the end, when Torrey Hunter was ejected, Paul Molitor was ejected, and then Torrey Hunter, apparently not satisfied, tore off his elbow guard, threw that on the field, tore off his ankle protector, threw that on the field, and then tore off his number 48 jersey. Threw that back towards the field as he was being escorted back to the dugout and eventually to the home clubhouse. We'll get into that right away. Thought number 1. Torrey Hunter was ejected from Wednesday's game. He could be facing suspension. He did come into contact with first base umpire Jeff Kellogg. It wasn't an inadvertent bump or anything like that, but Kellogg was holding Hunter back after he had already been tossed from the game, after Molitor had already been tossed from the game, and Hunter continued to argue, continued to throw a tantrum, and it was sort of in that moment that I question MLB might look at that and find that as grounds to suspend Hunter, because he did sort of push off Kellogg as Kellogg was just holding him back. I guess I wouldn't call it inadvertent contact, but it's not for me to determine the intent or the not malice, that's not what I'm trying to say, to determine if that went far enough to warrant a suspension for Hunter. It's certainly possible. We'll wait to hear. I went to talk to the umpires after the game. They declined to comment. Hunter made about a 1-minute statement saying that he just felt like he disagreed with the call. We talked to Molitor after the game. He said that the reason he thinks he got tossed is because he told home plate umpire Mark Ripperger, I don't know how you pronounce that, that he thought he had a bad night. He thought the home plate umpire had a bad night. Home plate said, I think I'm having a pretty good night. Molitor said something, I don't know, he wouldn't divulge, but something disagreeing with that last statement, and for that, he got the hook. It's the first toss, the first ejection of Molitor's managerial career. It's the 9th ejection of Torrey Hunter's managerial career, or of his playing career. Maybe one day, future managing, not right now. The story is posted at 1500ESPN.com if you want to go check that out. There's a video of the tirade at MLB.com. Got that up pretty quickly. I posted that to the website. You can find that all at 1500ESPN.com along with our game coverage. Also through to my 5 thoughts column. So if you're already reading that, it's just up at the top of the page. I don't know how you missed it. Let's move on, though. Thought number 2, Kyle Gibson put the Twins in an early deficit. I'll go quickly on these points because the game was sort of secondary, I think, to the antics at the end, or whatever you want to call them, the hijinks. The big picture is that the Twins were swept by the Royals, who now sit atop the AL Central. The Twins were in that position entering this series, but played poorly in 3 consecutive games, and the Royals outpitched them, outhit them, and definitely outfielded them. And they showed kind of right now why they're the class of the American League Central. The Twins will hope to get back to that. Just sort of a bit of a June slump, I think. I think the Twins maybe aren't as good as they played in April and May, and they're certainly not as bad as they're playing right now in June. I'll be curious to see as the Twins seek their level as we head towards the All-Star break. How good is this team? I don't know. But Kyle Gibson put them in an early deficit with a 4-run first inning. The defense didn't help him out on Wednesday, but he also didn't pitch great. Especially that first inning was really the struggle for Gibson. 3-run home run to Alex Gordon was the big blast. And the Twins, the way their offense has been playing lately, 4-0 deficit in the top of the first innings, sort of tough to come back from. They didn't. They fell by a final score of 7-2. Thought number 3, Jorge Polanco's 1-game stint. He got some playing time. He started at shortstop, batted 9th for the Twins. He was returned to Double-A Chattanooga after the game, as was the plan for the Twins. Some mixed results for Polanco. You like some of the things you saw. He had a single up the middle in his first plate appearance. He also drew a walk later in the game. But he was erratic with the glove. I don't know if it was nerves or what, but he just didn't play a good shortstop on Wednesday. He had 1 error. He cost Joe Mauer an error. And actually, Torrey Hunter got an error too, throwing the ball back into Polanco to the infield. Just quickly because this is thought number 3 actually, or excuse me, thought number 4. The Twins' poor play in the field. Jorge Polanco with 1 out and a runner on first boots a ball, hit to him at shortstop. It just kind of ate him up. Hop came up on him, booted it off the heel of his glove and out into right field. Okay, so you take a ball that maybe could have or should have been a double play and turned it into an error. You got runners on first and third. Only Torrey Hunter compounded the error by then throwing it back in lackadaisically from the infield, sort of dropped down and just whipped it in. Missed all of the missed Brian Dozier, missed Jorge Polanco, either of the cutoff man that he could have gotten it to, and the ball rolled almost all the way to the third baseline before Trevor Plouffe could scoop it up. That allowed Alcides Escobar to come around and score. So to recap, what maybe could have been a double play ball, runner on first, 1 out of the inning, no damage, turns out being a runner on second, and we lost lights, but I'm going to finish the video anyway. Winds up being a runner all the way around to score, and just kind of a sign of how the Twins fielded this series. I think they're better than they played, as I said, but bad series for the Twins. They'll hope to wash that one out of their mouth. They got an off day Thursday and then into Arlington for a date with the Texas Rangers. Let's wrap this up because we lost light, so we just gotta close her down. Trevor Plouffe hit a home run on Wednesday, and I think he might be out of his slump. He had been 2 of his past 32, I believe. Yeah, 2 of 32, and that included a triple on Tuesday night. Slumps are hard to tell. You never know when guys are going in. You never know when guys are going out. It's kind of only in hindsight you can tell that they were slumping or that they're streaking. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those weird statistical quirks that could be a whole video on its own. But if you're having me guess, I would say Trevor Plouffe probably emerging from his slump, and that would be a huge help to the Twins because he was one of their key run producers in the first 2 months. As he's gone dry, as Torrey Hunter's kind of gone dry, and as Joe Mauer continues to not have his standard level of production, the Twins' offense has sort of hit a crater here, and they'll hope to pull out of it, as I mentioned, going forward. Quick note before we wrap up this video, too. Tim Stauffer was designated for assignment after the game. He'll be replaced on the active roster by Michael Tonkin. A DFA basically means that the Twins are giving up on Stauffer. They'll have 10 days to decide whether they want to trade him, send him through waivers, or just outright release him. Stauffer was pretty bad in 15 innings for the Twins, didn't give him much in spring training either. That's basically chalk that up to a failed $2.2 million signing, which the Twins deserve criticism for, but keep in mind, they also had patience with Mike Pelfrey when maybe other people wouldn't have. He's turned out to be a great starter for them through 2 months. And they also had patience with Blaine Boyer, who's been great in the setup role. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. Long day at Target Field. Plenty of news on 1500ESPN.com if you want to go there, check out all that stuff. We'll also talk about all of this on the Touch 'Em All podcast this week, so make sure you're subscribed. Go to iTunes right now, search Touch 'Em All under podcast. Myself, Phil Mackey, we record a weekly Twins conversation every Sunday night. Look forward to that, recording this week's episode. There will be plenty to talk about, so we look forward to having you on. That'll do it for this video, though. Enjoy the Twins off day. I'll see you in the Ranger series. I'll be checking in with updates on 1500ESPN.com and on Twitter, at Derek Wetmore. Until next time, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you later.